Yesterday was, I don't think it should be a surprise to anyone who has really been remotely paying attention. But Donald Trump, and it's certainly, according to all the reporting, not a surprise to his staff, just a surprise that he would let his freak flag fly as president of the United States, I guess. From the New York Times piece, as of, I guess, last night or this morning, depending on if you are digital or paper-based, Trump gives white supremacists an unequivocal boost. It's always what you want to read about your president. President Trump buoyed the white nationalist movement on Tuesday, as no president has done in generations. It's always important to be a superlative. Equating activists protesting racism with the neo-Nazis and white supremacists who rampaged in Charlottesville, Virginia over the weekend. Skipping ahead, no word in the Trump lexicon is as tread-worn as, quote, unprecedented. But members of the president's staff, stunned and disheartened, said they never expected to hear such a voluble articulation of opinions that the president had long expressed in private. Let me reiterate. They are shocked, stunned, disheartened. I'm adding to this, probably dismayed. Gary Cohn, it says, or I should say, after that, Treasury Secretary, and Steven Mnuchin, who are Jewish, stood by uncomfortably as the president exacerbated a controversy that has once again engulfed the White House in disarray. Other reporting says that Gary Cohn is completely enraged. And are they enraged because they're working for a president who holds views that are at best very sympathetic with Nazis and white supremacists? No, that's not the problem. They're enraged because he said it out loud in a press conference. How embarrassing. I wonder if Gary Cohn and Steve Mnuchin are just thinking, hopefully we got enough distance between now and the high holidays so that when I go to synagogue in October to celebrate Rosh Hashanah, everyone in the synagogue doesn't look at me as if like, oh, I'm the guy who is helping prop up Nazis in the country. I mean, right now, first of all, if the ADL wants to even continue to pretend that it cares about any of this shit, they should be calling on Gary Cohn and Steve Mnuchin to resign immediately. Gary Cohn should be feeling the vast amount of pressure right now. Because this is going to turn out, all the whining from the Republicans who voted for this guy, all the establishment Republicans who continue to prop him up, even the Bushies who are sending out their notice from Kenny Bunkport where they won't say the name Donald Trump. This is all just going to blow over in 2 weeks, just like the pussy grabbing tape. The weak link here is a guy like Gary Cohn who does not want to be known in his community as being supportive of a guy who is propping up Nazism in this country. And he should be feeling the full brunt of the pressure because once he goes, they're no longer getting cover from that guy, right? As long as Mnuchin and Cohn are there, everybody's looking around. Well, look, I mean, if the Jewish guys are here and they're okay with the Nazis,
Do you think it's a mistake that Mnuchin was next to him when he went on that tirade?
I mean, they're both finance guys. I mean, who knows? I think it was just a coincidence. They were there for an infrastructure deal. But the bottom line is they're giving cover to all the other cabinet people. It's not about Donald Trump anymore. I mean, no one's going to influence Donald Trump to be less of a Nazi sympathizer, to be less of a Nazi, whatever it is he is. But Gary Cohn can be pressured because he's got to go out into the real world. He can't stay in the little bubble. At one point, he's going to go to his country club. He's going to go to his synagogue. He's going to go home, and he's got relatives. And they're all going to look at him, and they'll be like, really, dude? He's a Nazi. And Gary Cohn should feel that pressure. And once he goes, then Mnuchin has to say, like, oh, do I really want to be the only Jew here supporting the Nazi? And then once he goes, it becomes cascading. That's what's got to happen. And I don't know if it's some group. I don't know if the ADL will have the balls to do it. They won't. They're a right-wing organization more often than not. But there should be some, I don't know if it's J Street is the right group, but there should be some conference of rabbis. I mean that I imagine there's various rabbinical groups that are out there, maybe ones that are dedicated towards equality in the country, and they should be out in front of Gary Cohn's synagogue, is what they should be doing. Friday night at sundown, and talking about where's Gary Cohn right now? What's he say to this community? That's what should be happening. It's out in public. There's a reason why Gary Cohn is upset about it. And it's not because he's working for a Nazi. He knew that. Or a Nazi sympathizer, or whatever you want to call it. He's mad it's in public because now the people he's going to sit next to in synagogue, the people at his country club, the people when he goes out to dinner are all going to look at him and realize the stink is on him now. And that has to be emphasized. And now is the time. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos